So then one of the things that you might be doing after an event is trying to find the ROI of that event. So you've invested quite a bit in the travel and the trip. You've got this list of attendees, but you want to start to kind of think about how much did you spend versus how much you're influencing existing opportunities, and how many opportunities are actually sourced by this specific campaign. So you might have seen our webinar before. This is a Salesforce org for an organization that are selling to fast food restaurants, and they've just attended an event, the International Fast Food Fair. Now, I know we weren't very original when we were naming this event. However, one of the things that this marketing director wants to see in his dashboard is he wants to see who has attended this event, what is the ROI for our fast food event, what opportunities have actually influenced it, are the leads that we've been creating being followed up, and what are the new attendees and what are the opportunities that were sourced by this campaign. Now, what tends to happen in reality is, because you're importing this list as leads, firstly, all those leads are going to be considered as new prospects. But we all know that you can have prospects as well as existing customers or existing organizations that you're already working with or have in-flight opportunities with that attend this event as well. So what you really want to see is leads and contacts in that list. However, right now, because we don't have Cloud MDM or we don't have a right integration with this org, we don't have that visibility. Now, another thing is you want to make sure that data, you're setting the foundation for cleaning that data for the right segmentation. Now, we've got invalid countries here. We've got Deutschland instead of Germany. We've got US and USA. So the first thing we're going to do is set the foundation and clean up that data, clean up and standardize all those fields. So we'll take you through to the Cloud MDM demo tab. And yes, it's still called Data Scout. We'll rebrand that soon enough. But the first step is standardizing all that data. So standardizing all the sales data, so all your opportunities, all your contacts, all your accounts in there, as well as all the leads that you've got in there. You also would imagine that when you're scanning people at a stand, now I'm sure you've all experienced it, you're going to be scanned several times by several people. So as a result, you're going to be a duplicate in their Salesforce org. So you want to cleanse and identify all those duplicates. Now what I'm going to do is take you back to the dashboard after we've done all that cleansing and refresh that dashboard. And immediately what you'll see is now we've got a clearer segmentation of the various countries or the various organizations that attended our event. But now if we click into that, we can start to then manage all these duplicates and start to plan how we're going to strategize on the duplicates in the org. Now, one other aspect of it, now within the list itself, you're going to have duplicates because you've had multiple scans. But what about the people that are already in your org as leads and have attended the event at the same time? I'm going to click into one of those records. Now what you'll see here, actually, although in the list this didn't appear as a duplicate, but when I actually go into the record, you'll see that this person was already in my Salesforce org as a duplicate. And then when I imported my list, I created another version of that person. So now immediately I'm notified that this is a duplicate, and I can start to manage that. Now, the Cloud MDM solution gives you the flexibility to manage this manually. So if you take it to the next screen, you can pick and choose what aspects of the record you want to keep and what aspects you want to get rid of. But one thing to note here is manual merging or auto merging with the Cloud MDM solution is a no-loss merge. That means it doesn't matter how many times you've accidentally merged a record, you can always undo it. Now, the engine that's running in the background here is the fuzzy matching engine, and we call this probabilistic fuzzy matching. And this is how we can indicate whether something is actually a duplicate or not. So I'm going to take you through the tab that an administrator can view to actually see why something's been classified as a duplicate. And we've got two records here. We've got Sophie and we've got Sophia. And on first glance, these look like completely different people, and they wouldn't be classified as duplicates of each other. But when we actually hit the compare button and actually drill down into every field within that record, we can see that, in fact, this is actually a duplicate record. So all the other details about this person are exactly the same. They work for the same company, they have the same phone number, they're even based in the same location. So we realize now that actually, in fact, this is a duplicate. And it's because of the probabilistic fuzzy matching that we're able to derive that result. And it's because we're able to match each field give it a weighted score, and then add up all these totals together to give you a total score. And if it's above a specific threshold that you can set based on how good or bad your data is, then that's classified as a duplicate. Now, the reason why I showed you that is because what I'm going to do now can be quite scary. I'm going to mass merge all the duplicates in my Salesforce org. So I'm going to go back to my tab and just merge all my accounts and merge all my leads. And what this does is it just creates that clean org to start off with, so that any work I do from now on is all going to be clean. So now I've merged all my accounts, I've merged all my leads. And now what I'm also going to do is take you through what about in an ideal world where you had the Cloud MDM solution already in your org before the event even took place. So what if you did that list import and didn't even create those duplicates in the first place? Now, one of the main issues with importing lists from after an event is that, as I said, you're going to be importing duplicates. There's no way of matching them against existing records. There's no way to tell if all these leads that I've got in my list are actually people that I've already got opportunities with. So that means that you're only going to get leads. So what we want to do now is do an import, take it through the Cloud MDM process before it actually commits to creating a record, and then that means that all these campaigns that you're importing are going to be associated with existing contacts. And if you've got an existing contact, I've got an existing lead, you're not going to be creating a duplicate. So that's what we're going to run now. So we're just going to run an event list process. And what that means, what's running in the background here is I'm just getting rid of all the leads that I've got in that campaign, and I'm re-importing that list again. But this time, I'm matching it against all the contacts and all the leads that are already in my Salesforce org. So now if I go back to my dashboard, and I refresh my dashboard, if the internet speed allows me to, looks all right in the dashboard. You'll see that now, after the internet's allowed me to refresh it, now what you'll see is I've got a combination of contacts and leads in my list. And what that means, if I click into that, what that means is now all the contacts that had opportunities associated with them are now acting as an influence to my existing opportunities. So what you can now see is now I've got opportunity influence and I've got opportunity sourced because it's imported that list. Now, how that affects my ROI is that I now have a correct view of the ROI. Now I can have that total value associated with all my attendees. And on top of that, I now have a clearer picture of who was net new attending the event versus who were existing contacts. Now, in this scenario, most of them were existing contacts, but what that means is now I've got a lot of ROI based on opportunities influenced.